Oh, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy birthday, JD.
Yeah, happy birthday. Steve's with us. He's coughing, but he's with
I'm
us.
coughing. I'll mute myself if I cough. So.
And our jet setter is back with us today.
It's now
And
Bill
Jerry.
in Iowa. Bill in Iowa.
Yeah.
Bill in Iowa.
Bill in
Videos for
Iowa.
a while will have that tagline.
And Dennis is actually traveling today, and I think you guys have been reading the chat. He's stuck in a hotel room with a sick wife. He's supposed to come by here this weekend. So Dennis, when you do, if you do,
Your stuff will be at the end of the driveway.
Yeah. Yeah, I may just stick in trash bags and stay outside for you. Because I sure don't want to get sick on the way on my vacation. So
no.
Dennis is in Tulsa.
Are you actually here in Tulsa? All right. Well, you can come by this afternoon if you want. If you can leave Gail long enough.
That's a shame.
Or you can do it on the way home, whatever you want to do.
Poor Gail.
Yeah.
Feel better, Gail. That sucks, man.
Either one works for me, Dennis. I'm just going to be doing laundry all day, getting ready to go.
Nothing worse than being sick somewhere other than home.
Yeah.
So, Dennis, are you able to listen to the show at all? Can you hear the show?
Yeah, he said he can.
Well, he said his internet was sketchy, so I wasn't sure.
Well, he'll be all right.
Well, Steve, why don't you tell us who's in chat?
Okay, I'll do that. We got Dennis. Good morning, Dennis. Stephen Wigwag. Good morning. We got Happy Valley Hobbies, Rob T-Man, Floyd Robbins, good morning, Ray Bertelson, J.D. Grandpa Rails, happy birthday. BHS, that's JP, good morning. Let's see, who else we got here? Did I say Lynn McCurdy? I don't think so. Got Chris Brew, good morning, Chris. Let's see.
I saw Mark there.
Got Mark Pruitt. Good morning, Mark. Oh, gosh. I hope I didn't miss somebody. I'm out of practice doing this.
Oh, and Steve Anderson, happy belated birthday. I missed
Oh, yeah.
telling you on Facebook.
Happy birthday.
I saw it, but
Happy birthday.
it's way late.
and Volkster 19, that's a good one.
Jack.
Stormy Sky Rail Productions, good morning. Jack.
I saw Container Man was running trains. At least he had his little controller out. Container Man's going to build his layout, I guess.
It's about time.
Yeah. Should have enough to fill a basement, I would think, with what he gets.
Oh, man. I don't know. You probably got more than him, Bill, but he's got a good bit of stuff.
I'm just a pack rat.
I believe that.
It's okay.
Well, we got a little surprise for you this morning, guys. This is kind of a blast from the past.
Yep.
And this is going to be a real surprise for Dennis.
Yep. Let it go.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to try and do a quick recording here of what I got going on in my shop. I've got a 30 by 50 building that I'm going to put some interior walls in. As you can see, I'm a wannabe musician, recording engineer. So this space is going to be for possibly some recording, and also model railroad. That's probably really going to be the focus. I've got some woodworking tools. You can see I've already kind of got started on what I'm doing here. I have no idea what I'm doing actually. I'm kind of doing it all by feel. I'm still a little stumped exactly how I'm going to go about doing what I'm going to do with the ceiling. There's a 1-inch gap between the rafters and the metal. Nothing is on 16-inch centers or 48-inch centers, so everything's going to have to be custom fit and custom cut to fit up there because no two measurements are the same on anything in here. But I thought I'd go ahead and document all this once I get the room built. I'll probably put together a significant model railroad, as well as having a place to put my drums somewhere. All right, I've got another wall up, another section of wall that is. The whole wall is not up. You can see this side is 8 foot. We pan around over here. You can see this is actually 102 inches. My plan is to have a cross wall starting right there that will come across here and intersect over here. And then I will have a loft, a storage space is probably a better way to describe it, above here. So I'm actually going to be joining an 8-foot wall with a taller wall. I have no idea how this is going to work exactly, but that's what I'm going to do next. Part of the reason I'm going to do this is just for posterity, and everybody can see what kind of stupid mistakes I make along the way and laugh about it on YouTube. Well, the east wall is virtually complete. Had some issues here. I made lots of mistakes. I think I'm going to be able to live with them though. My wall's not actually connected. I should have carried that runner on the bottom all the way out, but I mismeasured and didn't think far enough ahead for where my wall was going to be joined. But it's going to work. It just, if a real carpenter come in here and looked at all this, he'd probably laugh at me. That's what it looks like right now. I've got this wall to do. I'm going to have 2 air conditioner units in here somewhere. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work either. That'll probably be the last wall I put up. Place is a mess. It's terrible right now. I'll probably do some cleaning tomorrow before I do anything else in here. My project tomorrow is going to be to run 220 from the breaker box over the top of the threshold of the garage door here and come down so that I can actually get my Grizzly working. It's 220. I can actually vacuum up some of the mess that I have. That's the plan tomorrow. Of course, I'll have to true up this wall some, try and make sure it's as plumb as possible. It won't be perfect, but it'll be good enough for me. It's not too bad right now. I got a little work to do on it though. Also got some work to do on my garage door. That was kind of a catastrophe. It's never worked because I did it myself, but I'm going to work on it some more. I'm going to get it to work one way or the other. I need to move some things around and make sure it's square. I think that's the biggest problem. It's just still not square. All right. I will pause the video and probably come back after I get some more done. All right, here's the plan for today. I'm going to get all of this corner cleaned up, get my wood framing installed. Probably going to leave the box attached where it is right now and just kind of frame around it. That's the plan right now. I'm going to get that done, and I'm going to run 220, 240, whatever you want to call it, over here to this area so I can make use of my Grizzly dust collection system, which runs on 220. Here's my materials. Hopefully I won't kill myself in the process. I'm not actually going to put it on camera. So I guess if this never gets posted, you'll know what happened. But that's the plan. I'm going to get started and then kind of show you what I did afterwards. And here it is. I've got the framing put in. I also put in insulation. I haven't talked about that yet, I don't think. There's this material here. I think that's called a purling, I don't know. But that's what the outside sheeting is attached to. So there's a 1-inch gap between that and everything else. So I've got 1-inch styrofoam placed inside there. And then eventually I'll put in the pink stuff and this other stuff. All right, so now the plan is to put in 240. Come up through here, go across the top. You can see where I've got some wiring already run. Come down here and have my 240 plug for my grizzly. All right, I got it finished. Took a little longer than what I wanted it to. If I didn't mention, that's number 8. It's probably way overkill for the distance I went, but it's what I had on hand. So there it is. It's right here. I'm sure someone's going to laugh at this, but that's the way I managed to get to a usable wire size for the actual receptacle. It works. I don't know, maybe someone will post on here and tell me how dangerous that is, and I'll do something different. But in the meantime, that's how it's going to ride for now. I still have some stuff to do over here before I call it quits this evening. I haven't tried to plumb these walls yet. I got some things to do there, put in some anchors on the bottom. That'll be the last little bit I do, and then I'll be finished probably for another 3 weeks or so. I'm going to be on military, some orders. But the place is a disaster. I've got to get in here and clean this up. That's probably what I'll do after I get my walls plumbed, is kind of get it back to a usable working space again. I'm back from military, back from Alaska, had a good time. Now I'm ready to start getting busy on the building. Today's project is going to be trying to get this cross wall from here to over here. I'm going to have to put in a door and a place for another cross wall for my loft, which will interconnect back over here somewhere when I get that wall put up. Got a lot of stuff to move around before I get started, so I've got some room to lift a wall up and get it put in place. So here I go. Got the wall completed here. Actually got quite a little bit finished. Also got my north wall completed. So the next thing to do is do this cross wall here that's going to come across from the north wall to the south wall with my headers and start creating the crawl space. Originally I had in mind of it being somewhat of a loft, but after I've done more of my measuring and kind of figured out what I ended up with, it's going to be a long way from a loft, and it's just going to be kind of the big crawl space, which I guess that's better than nothing, because I definitely need a place to put camping gear and Christmas ornaments and summer and or winter clothes, depending on what time of year it is. Got it laid out there to kind of put up. It's going to be a trick to do by myself because I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to have to put a 2x4 across the top over here to kind of keep it in place till I can get my headers put in. But that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to close the camera down and get busy, and I'll be back. I've got the center wall up. It's not exactly where I want it to be. Got it close enough that I can run a string line across here and kind of make sure I get it to where I want it. Got it temporarily held in place with this wavy 2x4 I got up there. And you're probably thinking, now, why in the world do you have that 8-foot wall there? And you've got a header over there with a 10-foot space, and I've got another header here with a 10-foot space. And you're thinking, you have just really overcomplicated everything. And you're right, I have. But what I probably haven't mentioned is one of my design features for the model railroad is to be able to come in this door right here and have an unobstructed view all the way across to the far corner there. So I'll have mountains all the way across the far wall. And if I do things right, you won't be able to see any aisle space or very little aisle space. That's kind of what I'm going for, is that as you first walk into the room, to be impacted by the scenery of the layout, and that's what my goal is, to have this one short wall there, have lots of open space, and even over here, you know, I'm pretty sure I will probably have a scenery divider here, and you won't be able to see this over here, but I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to do there. But I'm getting ready to start building my headers. Going to laminate 2 of these 2x10s on each side and see if I can't get them put up. Put the header up. Find out if all of my measurements were correct. My dad taught me to measure 3 times and cut once. I've always been thick in the head though, so getting ready to stick his puppy up there and find out if it's going to work or not. I have no idea if it meets code or anything like that, because why would I look at code? Ta-da! There it is. Went in fairly easily. I had some issues here. My nails came through and they stuck out just a little bit on this side, and so it wouldn't go all the way in between my 2x there. I had to kind of push them back in a little bit. Overall, it's working like I measured it and wanted it to. Haven't actually put a level on anything yet. I'm going to show some more progress here, if you can call it that. I've got my other 10-foot header up. Had a little hang up here. When I went to go to put it up in here, it would not fit. I don't know what happened. I guess my jack studs there, whatever you want to call them, I didn't get them measured quite right. I ended up having to chisel out probably a 1/4 inch of wood out of one of those 2x10s in order to get it to slide up in there. So, but it's there. Got some of my ceiling joists in for the crawl space up there. Not happy with it. I've made some mistakes. I think I'm going to have to completely start over on some of this because I'm not happy at all with what's going on here. I don't know if you can see, but I got my finger yesterday, and I think that was God's way of saying, stop, take a look at what you're doing. You're moving too fast. I got really impatient, and I wanted to get as much of this up as I could yesterday because I'm wanting to move on to other aspects of the project. That's an issue. So my 2x6 up there is not flush up against this stud here. I should have cut and had the forethought to realize that I was going to end up with a gap, a huge gap up in there that's just kind of throwing everything haywire as far as where my centers are. So I think what I'm going to have to do is take off all of these joists, which they're not up there too tight. I think I can probably get them all down nailed in probably less than 10 or 15 minutes. I haven't gotten the plywood nailed up there at all, but then cut that joist there up there at the top so that I can slide that 2x6 over flush with this and then start over with my 24-inch centers and then do it right, because right now it's just not. And I'm also kind of in a indecision about how far to carry this over. Like I said, I didn't measure any of this before I actually started because I'm an idiot. And it looks like I'm only going to have maybe, I don't know, 17, 18 inches of space up there to where my ceiling rafters are, which is not a lot of space. So what's the point of having that all the way down there? You know, I'm 50 years old. I'm not going to be crawling way back there in that back corner where I've got a few inches of space to retrieve a sleeping bag or something else that I've stored up there. So I'm now considering only bringing out that loft maybe to the end of this first 2x10 and calling that good. And then just leaving the rest of that open and having people ask the question, why did you do that? And it will turn into a great story. All right, so I'm going to get started on redoing all of this as much as I don't want to. I think I need to make it right. So I will keep you informed with the magic of it. I've got the crawl space in. Still not entirely sure if I'm just going to leave 8 foot of it or go ahead and extend it down. I'm wishy-washy on it. I don't think I really need it now that I've got it completed and bought all the materials for it. But I'm at a good stopping point for now. Next phase is going to be figuring out what to do about the ceiling. I've got a couple different ideas, but it all really kind of hinges on how much weight can these rafters hold. Because until I get that done, I can't extend up any of the other walls in here. There's going to be a short rake wall up here that seals off this end of the shop. Still got a lot of work to do. I'm hoping to get as much of this done as I can through the winter. It's September right now. I have no idea when I'll actually post any of these videos, but I'm going to try and get it to where maybe, just maybe, next spring, I might actually be able to start working on some bench work for a model railroad. Like what I'm going to do the rest of the day today is clean, figure out how much of this stuff will actually fit up above my crawl space, tear down my drums and my recording equipment. That's a hard thing to do. The decision to what to do with this space, I've gone back and forth on so many times, but I decided that I personally will get a lot more satisfaction out of building a model railroad than I will recording myself playing drums and bad guitar, because I'm a bad guitar player. And no one else is going to come out here and record with me, so what's the point? All right, I've rambled on enough. I might actually post this now because it's a good stopping place. I can start on a new phase and show you progress on insulation and sealing.
Sorry, Dennis.
No, I think that was good. That's a good idea. It was good to let everybody remind everybody where he started if they hadn't seen that video. I saw that video when he first put it out, and I don't know.
Anybody else not here, Claude?
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you.
No, you can't hear me, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see your lips move, but I can't hear you.
It's your end.
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me, Jerry?
Yeah, I hit the wrong button.
Well, no, Bill can't hear me for some reason. But anyway, what I was saying was I saw this video when it first came out, and I don't even know what got me there to his channel.
I still don't hear
I've
anybody.
seen
I'm
it-
going to
I've seen
log
it
out
go-
and log back in.
Okay.
But I've seen it go all the way from this video to what he's got now, which is just
Yeah.
incredible to think back what it was
Yeah.
before.
Well, I
But,
apologize, Dennis. That was kind of my idea. I mentioned
Yeah.
it in the green room.
Yeah. So like Steve was talking about your first video and how you've come from your first video to now. I was like, I never saw that video. So I brought it up and I was just watching the beginning of it. And I mentioned to the guys that your channel name was different back then. Well, your channel was, or your railroad was different, had a different name. And then, it went from there.
yeah. So we thought we'd pull a little fun on you, especially since you weren't here. Because I know if he'd have been here, he'd have nixed it real quick.
Oh, yeah.
It was good to see you.
And
It
it
was
probably,
fun to listen to Dennis's thought process as he
Yeah.
kind of worked his way through it. It's the same.
Yes.
It's the same thing that we all do. Is we're building different things and different layouts.
Yeah.
Durango, Otter Creek and Durango.
Yeah. And that was before you started the Time Saver, because I remember when you started it and where you were talking about even putting it when you built it. So that, yeah, which at the time, I don't think you really had a permanent place for it like it has now, but it's been fun to watch all the way through. But anyway, we thought we'd have fun with you this morning. And
Yeah, it was
thank you for
quite
that.
interesting to see back then.
Yeah. So, Bill, what have you been doing
Bill's
besides jet setting all over the world?
Yeah, besides jet setting all over the world, I hadn't posted anything on YouTube for a while, and I've had all kinds of videos prepared, and then my iMovie app locked up and I had to delete it and all of the videos that I hadn't posted. So,
Oh,
well, luckily I had not deleted the individual segments off of my phone, so I can rebuild. But I had like 9 videos ready to post,
Oh, that
and
sucks.
it's just like it just kind of the way it is, unfortunately. But what I've been doing, back in the States, got back. Well, just about 2 weeks ago. Like we were talking earlier, this time 2 weeks ago, I was somewhere between Bangkok and Hong Kong. And then from Hong Kong to LA to Chicago, Chicago to Mason City, Iowa, and then home. About
wow.
40 hours of travel total from house to house. But, since I've been back, went to Virginia, saw the boy, and then back to Iowa. And of course, coming back to Iowa, where do I have to go almost immediately? Caboose Stop Hobbies, the hobby shop in Cedar Falls, which is about 30 minutes from here. So I went in and I bought stuff, and I am going to make a t-shirt. I'm going to have to do that.
Yep.
So I went and I got stuff to take back to Thailand. So if you're watching the videos, well, actually you haven't seen the videos yet where I'm using the materials, but I used a lot of the Woodland Scenics foam netting. Love this stuff as a base for scenery that I glue onto my plaster. And then from there, build up the different layers to, make the landscape. If you're following my Facebook page, you've seen a lot of this stuff going in. So I got a bunch of stuff that they had there. Also bought this little jobby, a little handheld troller that I can connect to the troller pack that I've got, because I'm finding that I like to be outside the operator pit on my end scale there in Thailand. So I'm going to figure out how to hook this in and maybe have a couple of different ports where I can hook it in a couple of different places so that I can be outside and actually operate the trains rather than in the operator pit. So all in all, a nice visit for that. And when I was there, the guys at the shop were talking about that they had some totes of scenery material that they wanted to move and get rid of because it was blocking aisle space. So the kind-hearted soul that I am piped up and said, hey, I'm interested. How much? So I ended up buying 4 totes of scenery material. And you only see 3 here because I got rid of 1 tote. I emptied it and then combined it into these 3. So I got all of this stuff that you see, including that one there, this, and this for $75. I just had, I had a blast. And the most recent video I posted on YouTube, I think yesterday, shows the contents of all of this. But it's just like, I have a blast buying things, and probably most of this I'll never use. And all kinds of Atlas controllers, some of those I can put to use. All kinds of different things that are in here, including like a brass BoxCar kit, HO scale. I got all kinds of notch scenic stuff, tunnel portals for HO scale, many, many tunnel portals. I got like detail kits, trees. There's hydrocal. I got lots and lots of different types of ballast material. Some other kits that are in here, some bar mill stuff, lots of different things. A nice turntable here that somebody had started, and I can probably use on an HO scale. I think it's HO scale, but I'm not 100% for sure. I'm gonna have to look at those ties. Maybe a little bigger. Flat car, trailer loads, lots of different stuff. Paints, scenic, retaining walls, hydrocal, lots of Woodland Scenics materials. Even over here, not all of this, but some like zip texturing, measuring cups, different bunches of paints still. Even, compressed Propel for Badger spray paint. 2-part epoxy for water, which is great because I can use that. So I'm a happy camper. I've got
Boy, I guess so.
I got a lot of stuff.
Hey, Bill, what Campbell kits did you have in there? Was it just that one?
Let me look. The the Campbell tunnel portal, and then this thing, which is Kiowa Trackside Details Kit number 2. And it looks like everything's inside of it.
Yeah, that's a nice little kit. It's like 3 or 4 buildings, small trackside buildings.
Yeah. Yeah. And I opened up the box and took a look, and, you know, it looks good. So there was a bunch of stuff that was dried out, paint bottles and different things that I already got rid of. Even a lot of like Woodland Scenics tree kits. I got a whole bunch of those. The Woodland Scenic stump packages. I got tons of those. Variety of older landscape materials, you know, some figures, more tunnel portals, and lots of ballast. So lots of fun stuff in here. And you can kind of see, I don't know if I've showed the layout room down here, but it is full. I've got more stuff that I'm ever going to use. And this is all just O scale. There's a little bit of HO scale stuff that's in here in storage in my my pink room. Not too much. I do have my filter material for making, you know, pine trees. I'm going to take a bunch of that back with me when I go to Thailand. It works really well. You can buy this stuff at Ace Hardware. Home Depot used to carry it. I haven't seen it there lately, but Ace Hardware carries it, and maybe some of the other major brands. So some good stuff.
How much is that stuff?
Well, last time when I bought it, when I was back last year, it was like about $6 or $7 a sheet.
Oh, that's pretty cheap.
So really not much. I don't know what it is now, but you know, I could get a lot of trees out of that. Yeah, I think I could get maybe about 30, 35, 40 trees per sheet. And that was for O scale.
Have you ever tried to make bushes and stuff out of it too?
Well, yes and no. So when I make the O scale trees, you know, I do what I call the haircut, and I'm trimming. I use that for undergrowth, for like bushes. You can take a small amount of this and rip it, and you paint it, and you can flock it, and you could probably make bushes or hedgerows out of this stuff pretty easy.
All right.
But it's pretty good. And I'll give you a quick tour over here. I haven't shown you guys, I don't think, the basement. Like last year I was working on this. So this is my rest area. This is the basement. So I've got a thrift store that's about a mile from here. And all of this stuff on the walls I bought. And the most expensive picture was like $8. And that was that big one that's down there. So this is just where I come down and I listen to music, you know, no TV. I got my choice of chairs depending upon where I want to relax. But this is just my quiet space.
That's nice.
And then over here, you know, again, working on the basement, my security camera. This space in here, while I'm not going to do anything with it this trip back, but when I come back in the summertime, this is going to be my craft work area. I'm going to build in a nice workstation and storage so that I can do my model making right here. Plenty of lighting. It's a nice little space. It's about a little over 8 feet across. I can have shelves, you know, a nice workspace, bench to sit on. That's where a lot of the material that's in the hobby room is going to come in here. So I can sit down, I can build kits, I can relax and not take up the space in the model railroad room. But what I'm doing like upstairs right now is I'm painting the living room, you know, get the living room done upstairs, and I paint my bedroom, and then I've painted the entire house on the interior, and I don't have to do that. Got some landscaping stuff to do outside, but right now I'm to the point where I can enjoy the house and then turn my attention to doing stuff in the layout room. And, oh, actually, I'll show you one more thing over here. When I moved in, that space where I'm going to have the craft area had some built-in shelves that really sucked. So I stripped them down, but I've got loads of pine, nice wide pine boards. Those are in the back are like 8 feet long. They're like 12-inch pines.
Good stuff.
I'm going to rip those into like 3-inch strips, and I'm going to use that to make my framework, bench work for the O scale layout. I was going to originally do like I did in Thailand and use plywood, but I got thinking, I got this stuff here and I might as well use it. It's essentially free lumber, and I've got the saws outside. I can take this stuff out and I can rip it. I'll have more than enough to do the bench work for the O scale layout. So, recycle and reuse materials. So I'll go back over here to the hobby room.
Boy, Bill, you're going to need some more N scale stuff.
Hey, Bill, you're the epitome of why they say this hobby's a disease.
It is. It's one of those ones that at least, no intervention needed in most cases. It's just addictive. And yes, I have more than enough for anything that I'm planning on doing for probably the rest of my life. And in the garage, I've got the HO scale stuff and the N scale stuff. I've got totes and totes and totes. So out in the garage, I know what I want to do out there too, is once I can get electricity running, I've got to try to contact somebody like Monday. I reached out to a contractor last time I was back, even went into their shop, talked to them, and gave them an idea what I wanted. And they, yeah, we'll get back with you. I'll come out next week, take a look. Well, next week came and went. They never contacted me. Another week came and went, never contacted me. I called them once, never got a return call. So it's like, up yours. I'm going to go somebody else. I got to find that person or company. But out there, I'll do kind of like what Dennis did, is that I'm going to separate an area, a small area for my workshop, for my Shopsmith Mark V and other tools. The rest of the garage will be layout space. And I've already got an idea for the third module for my HO scale switching layout. And I've got, all the materials that I need to build that, with the exception of buying a little bit of lumber. The N scale layout, I'll be able to put out there as well. And I might even be able to do like an O scale tin plate layout kind of around some of the walls. I've got some ideas of what I want to do. I've got more than enough projects in my mind to keep me busy. I will continue to live in Thailand for a long period of time and enjoy over there. Maybe come back here, maybe not more frequently, but extend some stays to, enjoy the space that I've got. But I'm having fun. And yeah, I like to buy stuff.
That's okay.
Yeah, well, I'm the same way. That's why I'm giving all this. I've got a bunch of stuff today to give Dennis because I bought stuff. I was collecting stuff and didn't know what I was going to use, what I wasn't going to use. But if you see it, especially in model railroading, you better get it when you can. Especially if it's older stuff that's not produced anymore, because pretty soon you're not gonna be able to get it at all.
And very true. Somebody else will grab it like me and just hoard it, And
Yeah.
You may or may not see it down the road. And if you do, it'll be even more expensive. So
Hey, Bill, are you planning on connecting your switching layout, your HO switching layout, to your current modules in HO that you have?
Yeah, I'm going to expand what I've got.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do, I've got the two modules that do basically an 8x16. I'm going to make a third module, and I'm thinking I'll be able to put it in between the two that I've got, and it will go like this so that I get a T.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got enough space out there that I might make it permanent, where I might just redo the base because the tops lift off.
Right.
So I might just make a permanent bench work out there, and then I can kind of expand it so I can come off. I know what the third module looks like, but I can come off that and maybe have a nice staging yard so that I can actually bring in trains, break them up, and then maybe come off of another area to loop it back to the staging so that I could have trains leave the scene after I'm done doing switching or making them up. So I've got some ideas. I must have like 50 or 60 Cheyenne O'Hara code 70 switches that I can use on that. Double crossovers, lots of stuff like number 4s, number 5s for tight switching areas, number 6s for the mains. I got all kinds of stuff and some track. I just have to have the time to build it. But what I want to focus on is get the stuff done with the house, the painting, the different things, so that
Yeah.
I don't ever have to worry about that again. And then when I can come back this next time, I'll have almost all of that done. So I just have to do a little yard work and some gardening, but then I can play with trains again.
Man, I'm tired just thinking of all the stuff you got to do.
Yeah, you got no.
It's like you keep piling on the work, Bill.
Well,
You
I do.
gotta
Well, I want
relax.
to get it done. It's like I started 2 days ago in the living room, painted the ceiling, and it's a big living room in this, ranch style house. Got most of the walls prepped yesterday, patched nail holes, all that kind of stuff. And I got about 2/3 of the room painted before it got dark and I lost light. And the lighting in there is not good, which is why I'm painting it a lighter color versus the darker color that it is. So I'll get that done today. Then I'll go in and I'll change out all the old 1960s receptacles and light switches and put in new baseboards, the little flappy things over the heat ducts so that looks nice. Then I can move everything back and I'll have the living room done today. Then tomorrow I start in my bedroom, same thing, paint the ceiling. I'll come in, patch the walls for the holes that they've got, and then get it painted. And then all I have to do really is just a little bit of paint on my stairwell coming down into the basement. That won't take too long, but I'll just have to finesse my ladder on the stairs so that I can get it and not kill myself doing it. Then the house is done on the inside. I want to do stuff in the garage too. I want to paint the garage, but again, that's a summer type project. And then outside, when I got back this time, I went on Facebook and Marketplace and found somebody local that had an 11 by 17 patios worth of pavers that they'd already replaced and are sitting on pallets. And I bought that, about 4 Jeep loads to bring back to the house here. And I'm going to use those as edgers around the garden space I did last year. So I stay busy, retirement, actually working more than when I worked.
That's good.
What you think?
You can, yeah.
It's good. It's good that you can, right?
It is. And
Yeah.
I see too many people retire and
do nothing.
just sit and their health just deteriorates quickly. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm going to fight old age as much as I can. I'm getting long in the jowls. I know that. But if I stay
Bill, you're going to live forever.
our videos, all of us will live forever. Our videos will outlive us.
You're going to live forever.
Yeah, so that's my update. I'm having fun.
Steve's got some news, don't you, Steve?
Oh, yeah. Bill needs a nice long 100-car train going around your N scale layout, with some. No, I'm taking this whole thing down. It's all going to go. It's too frustrating. Nothing works right, and I'm going to tear it all down and put up a HO switching layout along the walls. Something a little easier to manage and a little more room. I've got a 2-foot by 2-foot space right here, and it's just a pain in the butt. So anybody needs any N scale stuff, Bill.
Well, I tell you what,
It's gonna need a good
you
home.
think about it and you let me know what you want.
No, I'll show you what I have and you make me an offer.
Well, no. You let me know what you want. And that's kind of how I do it. You've got materials there and you kind of give me an idea and we can
give me an idea. And Bill, it's all good.
That's fair enough.
Bill's your man.
It'd be so cool to see my stuff running on your layout, Bill.
I would take a bunch of it, I'm sure, to Thailand. Obviously not this trip because I don't think we, be able to get here quick enough, but before I go back in April early. But yeah, I would definitely, because I've bought stuff from folks before. And, if I buy something, I keep it. There's very little that I would like resell or dispose of. I can use anything and make it work.
Well, the motive power I have runs good. It just doesn't run good on this layout. I mean, it's good. There's
it's not the trains, it's the track, isn't it?
It's the track. If I had a decent layout out here, it'd run fine. But, I just don't even want to deal with this anymore. Anybody ever been there before?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah. A lot of people have. I mean, it's, you
No,
know,
Well,
no,
mine
I've been
wasn't so
thinking,
much not wanting, not getting tired of the layout. That wasn't my motivation for taking mine down, but I understand what you're saying. I've been in that position before where
yeah.
you just tired of doing a particular thing and
Well,
want to do
if
something
it's
else.
not fun, then what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 So I hooked up with a guy that's got some HO track and switches and a lot of other stuff that I'm going to be making an offer on, and so I'll keep everybody updated on this. But yeah, I'm just gonna rip it out. You know, I
yeah.
I've been teasing about it for a while, but I finally decided a week or two ago. It's like it's
Well,
done.
Steve, you should document what you got so you can show it to Bill, and
Oh yeah,
then you can get that lined up for yourself.
yeah. Well, that would
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'd rather send it all to one person, and instead of trying to put it on eBay piece by piece and
Yeah.
deal with all that
That,
crap.
yeah, that's why I think about it and think about what you want, and
Yeah.
let me be easier to just ship, locomotives, rolling stock, any salvageable things you think you can get, and
Well, and
put
the motive power. I mean, I've got all the cases for the motive power and stuff, so they should ship pretty easy.
yeah.
I might
All your
keep a couple of things,
motor
but
power is all your motor power, your locos, all Santa Fe stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got cabooses, and
Yeah.
like I said, I've got a really nice 3-car Amtrak train that you look really good on your layout. Damn it! Let's
Yeah.
see where.
Well, it would be fun because I can already picture in my head like Santa Fe, motive power pulling German beer cars with a Japanese passenger car at the very end.
Yeah,
That would be pretty cool.
yeah. Well, and I've got all the stuff over here for the. I don't know if I don't know if you can even see it. Let me see if I can do this without dropping this thing. But crap! Wait a minute. I'm gonna do it this way. That whole engine facility over there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
got all the refueling stuff. A couple of buildings and
That's a
things.
part of the layout I don't think anybody's ever seen.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
Just when he
probably
was building it.
yeah. This one I was building it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Definitely, I'm interested.
Okay, good.
Hey, Bill, you mentioned German beer cars in your travels with with your job that you had. Did you ever make it to Miniature Wonderland in
No,
Hamburg?
no, I did not.
Because
I
they had some good scenes with some of those.
Yeah, I wish I had, but honestly, when I was, still working and traveling, I didn't have much time to do anything that would be sort of touristy. I stayed a few weekends where I could kind of drive around and explore a little bit where my family roots came from, up near a little bit north of Dusseldorf, but I didn't have fun to do it. And honestly, I didn't even think about it while I was over there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go there, it's for a modeler, it's definitely something you got to see.
Yeah.
And you can spend a half a day there easy and still not see everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I see the videos of it on YouTube and it's like just phenomenal.
Yeah, well, the videos don't do them justice, trust me.
Yeah,
I
Steve,
I don't
before
know.
you take it down, you got to do what Rob T-Man said. Do a little final tour of your layout.
Yeah, I could probably do that. I don't know your name. It
Walk around.
BHSRR. He made a comment about the sand tower. It was a scratch
JP.
build that
That's
I
JP.
did. Who?
JP.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Um, yeah. It's modeled after the sand tower in the Richmond Yard that I used to work. It
That's
was
pretty
a
cool.
Yeah.
Scratch
little
build.
scratch build thing. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to. I don't ever think I've seen your entire layout like that, Steve.
A
Definitely haven't.
mess like this?
No,
Well,
like
he's got
that
the barge and everything there, but he's
barge.
usually got stuff sitting on top of that part of the layout. That's why you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah,
Do you
never
he's
see
got
have
a
videos of this on your
what?
layout? Do you have videos on your channel
Yeah.
of the barge? I don't never remember seeing this barge.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'd have to go way back when I was posting the build on this thing.
Might as well
But yeah,
do that too.
you'd have to go to my channel. I've got all kinds of videos on there.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
he had a
it's way
barge and good.
before. If you go to my channel, you're going to see a whole build on that. You know, my 1.5" scale stuff. But you go way back, you can see the whole building in this thing,
Yeah, how about that?
And
and
you
why
go
it's
past
such.
that, you see some more of the Train Mountain stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing I saw in you when you were moderating for Steve Brown. And
Yeah.
of course, back then you could click on somebody's name in the chat and
Right.
it would pull their link up to their channel, which was a hell of a lot easier than it is now.
Hmm.
But that's how I found your stuff was on there, and I started watching some of those Train Mountain videos, and then you started doing the N scale
Yeah.
layout.
And I only did the N scale because my brother-in-law, sister's, uh, or my wife's sister's husband in Florida sent me a whole box of N scale stuff. About 5 or 6 years ago or more. I think it was in 2017, something like that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
almost 10 years
and
ago.
yeah, seems like it. And that's how I went N scale.
Yeah,
I had, I've always done HO. I figured since I had the room here for N scale, that's what I did. But I didn't do it right.
that's right, Dennis. We might have to do that a little bit more. We'd probably stay with shorter videos, but that might be fun to do. Go dig some up and
What did he say?
get a segment on here.
I'm just looking through Steve's videos now.
He said more vintage YouTube to explore.
Well,
Would be fun.
if you want a real good laugh, go back and look at my first one.
You have a lot of music videos on.
Nobody's first one is good.
Yeah, a
Oh,
lot of music,
We just
videos.
we just
yeah.
witnessed that one.
yeah, a lot of music videos back then.
Yeah.
You
Well, we
got
got 2 minutes left. I
yeah.
will not be here the next 2 weeks. Dennis, I think Steve said it was spring break next week there.
For here, yeah.
I don't know what it is here in Oklahoma, but it's up to you guys if you want to be on next week or the next 2 weeks, or if you guys want to take a break while I'm gone. But I won't be here, so we got that. And Dennis, just if you want to come by today, just give me a holler before you shoot over here. So I'll be expecting you. But I'll get all your stuff together that I was going to give to you and have it ready.
Wow. 6 years ago. N scale layout update number 1.
How can it be an update if it's number 1?
Well, here's the thing. I had to do that because Steve Brown was going to have me as a guest and nobody really knew who I was. So I had to throw out a video, and then he did one of his interviews, which you can't see anymore because it's on a pay channel, but which was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's our time, guys.
Have a
Bill,
good
good to see
week,
you
everybody.
again.
Have a good weekend. Good to see you, Bill. See you
Yeah,
next
week.
I'll be around and on for the next several weeks at least. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you got Bill will be here if you guys want to do the show. And if I can, I might pop in from somewhere in the Gulf of America, but
Where are you
that's
going?
where we're headed. Say again?
What country are you going to?
Oh, we'll be in Mexico, and the second week we hit Roatan, Honduras, but we won't even get off the ship there.
You're
Don't
going to
get
Mexico? Whoa.
Don't get
Yeah.
off of Mexico either.
Don't get off in Mexico.
yeah.
We'll get off. We got a place in Costa Maya we go to, and then we're going to try a restaurant in Cozumel that we've been wanting to check out. So I think we're
Good
going to
luck.
try that.
Hope they don't
At
kidnap.
least do that.
I would
Otherwise,
say
we wouldn't get off
we
the
better
ship.
get a GoFundMe page for ransom.
All the trouble's on the West Coast. It wasn't on the East Coast.
Okay.
I mean, they've got the cartels and stuff there, but it's not nearly as bad.
See ya,
Actually,
everybody.
actually, the cartels most of the time don't mess with anything that impedes tourism, because that's where all the infrastructure money comes from, and they use the infrastructure just like everybody else does. So they don't normally do that, but what they were doing was disrupting the police and military as much as they could, because they're the ones that conducted the raid that killed the head guy or something, whatever.
All right.
That's what I could pick out of it anyway. But anyway,
See ya.
thanks for being here, guys. And
Y'all.
say
Catch you
good
later.
to see you again, Bill. And everybody in chat, have a good weekend and have a good 2 weeks before,
Yeah.
or it'll be 3 weeks before I see you. So
And we'll see you next time.
All right.
see you
Take
then.
care.
Take
Bye.
care.